Hello, hello, hello. I am Rory Paddock for picks.thepaddock.co.uk. It is the 15th of November. It is Monday morning and it has just gone 20 past 10 in the AM. And it's time for today's Tips Live. It's a really, let's be honest, it's a pretty poor affair in terms of what we've got racing-wise this Monday. But I'm hoping that I've gone for something a little bit alternative that can hopefully see us grab a little bit of money from the bookmakers. It's not going to make you cash rich by any stretch of the imagination. Relatively short-priced horses today, but hopefully it's something that'll be better in your back pocket than the likes of William Hill and co. The first horse that I'm going to look at today runs in the 115. There are three horses that I like the look of, with sort of like alternative types of bets, really. It's not your standard win or each way selections. So they may be specific to certain bookmakers. I will show you where you can find these bets with the bookmaker I use predominantly. Other bookmakers are obviously available, but there's two from Plumpton and there's one from Leicester. The first of which comes at Plumpton in the 115. Here we go. I've got the 130 at Leicester. That's not good, is it? Actually, you know what? We'll stick with Leicester. It's the 130. The horse that I like the look of is the current favourite. It's 4-1. It's Al Borken for Amy Murphy. Fourth in a race last time. Actually, it looks a relatively decent race compared to what a lot of these horses have contested recently. Also, I think what's also going to be a massive plus compared to the likes of Begin the Luck, and you've also got Robbins Hill, who I think has much bigger targets later on in the year. Also, you've got Pecking Par. I think the fact that Old Barkan has a relatively recent run, raced 28 days ago, is a massive plus. Should strip a lot fitter. And I think the form of that race in which it finished fourth seems to be the best of the sort of the horses that have raced recently. Sort of outings. I think that's the best form in the book. I don't think it's going to take much to win this. Amy Murphy is perhaps a bit of an underrated trainer as well. Jack Quinlan certainly knows how to steer a horse to victory, and I think Al Borken looks the one there. However, it is still a relatively competitive race, and I'm not going to back that horse on its own to win. What I'm going to do, I know it's an odds-on price, but the bookmaker that I use is currently pricing it up at 8-11 for that horse to finish in the first three. And I think that's a pretty decent bet, and I cannot see that horse out of the money. So Al Borken to finish in the first three in the 130 at Leicester at 8-11. Obviously, prices may vary by the time that you see this video, but at the time of going live now, 10:24, it is 8-11. Then we head on over to Plumpton earlier on in the day in the 115. Again, I'm going to go with the same sort of bet, the horse to finish in the first three. This time, I'm going with Ted's Friend. Faisal O'Brien, as his horse is absolutely flying at the moment. Max Kendrick is a really, really promising young jockey. Next left is probably the horse that I fear the most. Obviously, Gary Moore has been absolutely blistering form with these horses at the start of the season. That's the one that I probably fear the most, and that's probably why I couldn't go Ted's Friend as a single bet on its own. I'm happy to take on Hard Fashion. I don't think that second recently is all that much to write home about. Crystal Moon is a bit of an unknown quantity. Obviously represents a big yard with Alan King. But Ted's Friend, currently priced at 13-2 if you're looking to back it on its own. But again, if you want it to finish in the first three, is priced at around 8-11 as well. Now, obviously, you can see there with the non-runner, there's only 7 runners. However, some bookmakers, including the one I'm going to show you in a moment, does pay the first three for single place terms. And last but by no means least, we do have to wait a couple of hours, but in the, I think it's the 3:15, or is it not? Or is it the 3:45? There we go, it's the 3:45. It's the final race on the card at Plumpton. And again, another horse to finish in the first three. Currently at 11-10, I think relatively generous, is Soar Like an Eagle. James Best, a really, really, really good jockey in my eyes. Third last time out. I think the horse will improve drastically for that. Then the horse will also improve for a step up in trip to this to 3 mile 1. Again, the Gary Moore trained Anthony is the horse I fear the most. Top Man is a course winner. Obviously, deserved a ton of sort of credit and a ton of respect. But Soar Like an Eagle to finish in the first 3 at 11 to 10 looks drastically overpriced. Now, I did say that I would show you where you can find these sort of selections. So if you bear with me a minute, I am going to let's have a look there. This is where I wish I had some hold music. So if I bring this up, there we go. So we've got Paddy Power there. We've obviously got the standard win or each way marking, but if you're here, you've got the to be placed, and you can have either the first 2 or to place in the first 3. If you click on that, it'll give you the prices, and it's the exact same for other races as well. Across all the cards, they do this with every single race meeting. They tend to offer an extra place. If you can get them, sometimes they're a really decent way to go in what can be really competitive races. If you're looking for a bet, sometimes even as well, if you perhaps really like an outsider at, say, 20 to 1 or something, and perhaps the place terms of the first 3 or first 4, sometimes they'll even go to first 5, first 6. Yes, you're not going to get as much because you've not backed it as the win bet, but as a single place bet, when you've got extra place positions, sometimes that's really decent, and perhaps is a little bit of a saver to hopefully get your money back if you're going to back it on its own anyway. So, my 3 for today, all to be placed in the first 3. You can see there, Ted's Friend in the 115 at Plumpton, Al Borkan to place in the first 3 in the 130 at Leicester, and Soar Like an Eagle to place in the first 3 in the 345. I'm going to put them in a Trixie, so that's a double, like 3 doubles and a treble. A £1 Trixie, £4 stake. If they all come in, you get £16.50 back. If you're looking for the treble pays just over 5 1/4 to 1. So I think that's a relatively decent bet. Small stakes, I want to be honest, it's not something that I want to go all out for. It's just a little bit of interest on what was a pretty sparse Monday. But as always, any likes, comments and shares, tell us what you like the look of this Monday, what you're going to be backing. I've been Rory Paddock for picksfromthepaddock.co.uk. Fingers crossed, touch wood, and good luck if you follow.